A second stimulus package and HEROES Act proposal draws criticism from viewers on this channel. This is a Sunday, May 17th update. Thanks for tuning in to LALATE. As always, like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording, and we'll be answering your questions today about the second stimulus package and the HEROES Act, which compose two videos on Saturday. But first, the news. The HEROES Act was approved by the House of Representatives on Friday. It now heads to the Senate. Senate Republicans have said it's dead on arrival, that it won't be approved. But what could you see coming to you, and will there be a second stimulus check, and for how much? First, viewers of this channel had urged members of Congress to approve not one, but multiple second stimulus checks. Namely, $2,000 per month over several months was the great consensus of viewers in their comments over the last few days. What do you think? However, that was not manifest when it came to a vote in the House on Friday. The final version of the HEROES bill, which is the new version of the CARES Act, aka CARES Act 2, will provide only $1,200 as a single check. There's not going to be a multiple check. Many of you are outraged, including myself. This original CARES Act, when originally drafted, was to provide for two checks over 2 months, not one check. But when the vote came to a head on the CARES Act back in March, they decided on only a single check. In recent days, members of the Democratic Party proposed multiple checks over multiple months, but the current proposal is only a single check. What do you think? The HEROES Act and the second stimulus check package is as follows as it goes to the Senate. It includes hazard pay. Hazard pay is an additional hourly allotment for people who are in certain jobs that are currently battling the COVID-19 environment. If you made up to about $200,000 in 2019 earnings, then you could receive up to a prescribed amount. It's somewhere around $20,000. If you made more than that amount, then your total additional supplement under the hazard pay would be about $5,000. The hazard pay is about $13 an hour put on top of your normal hazard pay amount. The second part of the HEROES Act and second stimulus package that's heating up is student loans. There are two parts to it. One part is to actually forgive the student loans. Another part is to extend the repayment principal and interest period on student loans, which was already extended under the CARES Act, but is now under the HEROES Act proposed to be extended further. The biggest one, and the one that viewers of this channel should really listen to, is the extension on PUA and unemployment benefits. As you know, as you've been watching the videos on this channel, the CARES Act approved $600 per week from the federal government on top of weekly UI benefits and PUA benefits for those impacted by COVID-19 between the months of approximately March and July of this year. That's the CARES Act. But the HEROES Act, which goes to the Senate, now proposes to extend that $600 weekly payment into 2021, namely January. What's the Republicans' response to it? They think it creates a welfare state which does encourage people to work. That's not necessarily true, because under PUA and UI, if you are working, you don't qualify for them. It's as simple as that. There are other parts of PUA, there are other parts of the HEROES Act which seems to have really gotten derailed. We had reported all this week that members of Congress are trying to provide for $2,500 for Uber drivers who are classified as independent contractors by Uber or Lyft and may have been actually employees. That seems to have been derailed. It did not get into the final version of the HEROES Act. What are the Republicans concerned about? The Republicans are concerned about liability for businesses, and they're concerned about too much money for people based upon incoherent economic data. The question is whether the data is really incoherent. LA has been reporting all week long that Steve Mnuchin on Sunday morning radio, not this Sunday, but last Sunday, said the unemployment rate is really around 25%. If true, that would make the United States unemployment rate the worst in the world. It's currently, I believe, at second. And it would indicate that we are far from rebounding. Moreover, just this weekend, Fed Chairman Powell said he does not see a rebound of the economy until there is a vaccine. And most medical officials say that vaccine is not coming until middle of next year, despite the assurances by President Trump that it's coming in a matter of a few weeks, which is just silliness. So what do you think? Many of you have said that you think that $1,200 is a joke. And let's go right to your comments and see if you agree. Jesus Gonzalez, need American, we need $2,000 a month until this is all over. Where is the America USA for the people? Stop the BS to American people. Trump, give us $2,000 a month. That's what viewers of this channel have been saying. The suffering is still going on, and $1,200 for one time is a joke. Kanaka Moali, I think that they're lowballing on both sides. Whatever happened to the reoccurring payments? Only one, come on. Absolutely. It's outrageous. Jose Rivera, I still know $1,200. I'm Social Security Disability with SSI. What the fuck? I'm so sorry, Jose. I would check. You should be receiving your check by June. JT, I think they may want to give us something or else. They want to give you something. The question is, what is the else? Tony Kitchen, listen to you gives me something to do while I'm on quarantine. Thank you. Well, thank you, Tony Kitchen. Thank you for your nice comments, as always. Vixelec Salmon. What if someone who was U.S. taxpayer in 2018 received his first stimulus under the CARES Act, but he's not a U.S. citizen nor a green holder, though he has a Social Security number? Does he still qualify for the second stimulus check under the HEROES Act bill? Heard this similar question like this in live chat. If you've not been joining our live chats, please do. So one of the things that is proposed in the HEROES Act is to provide the check, $1,200, to also legally documented residents, green card holders, $1,200, who have a TIN, not a Social Security number. But in regards to your first question, I believe Social Security numbers is what triggered the payment for the first check. If the person stole someone's Social Security card number, that's a whole other ball wax. Bruce Larick, in my opinion, the Democrats don't want the stimulus check to be over $1,200 because of the other nonsense they threw in this bill. If the checks would have been larger, then other pet projects would have get financed. My thought is I'd like to see congressmen and senators live on $1,200 a month. Then both sides would push for $2,000 a month for the American citizens. Very well said. Mitch McConnell, who is out of Kentucky, is a millionaire. There are billboards that say, Mitch, you're a millionaire. And he's consistently said that he doesn't know what the economic data is and he doesn't see enough struggling among the American people. Mitch, wake up. Mitch, wake up. 25% unemployment rate currently, as predicted by your own Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin. No one in their right minds thinks anyone can live for $1,200 a month, but the current status is you're having people live for several months for $1,200. Here's the recap, if we don't recall, Mitch. $1,200 was given under the CARES Act for the month of March and the month of April. No one has been paid for the month of April yet. We're in the month of May. The current proposal, the HEROES Act, which Mitch opposes, is to pay you in the month of what? June for the month of May? Well, whatever happened to the April check? And if you pay people in the month of July, where's the check for the month of May and June? So it just becomes a snowballing effect. And moreover, what Elliot has detailed on this channel is that the stimulus is to stimulate the economy. Consumer confidence is driven by spending. And the issue is that if you continually are behind the eight ball and doing things after the fact, you aren't stimulating. You're trying to catch up to where you were or should have been 30 days ago. Proposing a $1,200 stimulus check for now, for payment in June or payment in July, that should have been there for payment in May, you're not stimulating anything. You're catching up to something everyone should have had by now. So stimulation is not when you're throwing something on supplement. Now, here's the backside of that. The $600 per week on top of UI and PUA is stimulus in the event of people who are unemployed or unable to return in full capacity to their PUA self-employment. But is that stimulus? It's not particularly stimulus. That amount of money is to get them going forward. Finally, a last issue. LALATE forgot to mention this in our HEROES Act recording yesterday, but covered it in the stimulus check. There's another part to the HEROES Act that might attract some of you. This is a rental and utilities supplement or a fund, however you would call it. The proposal is to give businesses rental bill and utility monies that they are incurring throughout a part of 2020 to combat the struggles that they are going through COVID-19 shutdowns. The question is whether Republicans will support it. And very little was said about it in the HEROES Act. The question is where it's going to go. As always, drop your comments and drop them before Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we may answer them in Monday's recording. As always, stay of LA for more.